What's good, boys? What's up? What's up, y'all? We back. Everything's good. I think audio looks fine. I think we're all chill. I think we're ready. For today's discussion about the state of Commander. We ready to get this show on the road? I know I am. Our boy, everyone's favorite boy, Saffron Olive, made this tweet today, saying he mentioned this on stream yesterday, but he thinks free running applying to commanders is an easy example of what is wrong with current commander design. And for the record, I agree with him, in case it's not obvious by now. What makes Commander great traditionally is that it's a home for oddball cards, for cast-off cards are printed for standard but often weren't quite efficient enough, or a bit too expensive, or died in Doom play too often to see play. I don't think I need to give you like examples of this. Like it's very obvious what this could be. Every 7-drop ever printed, cards that just suck and are bad. Every bulk common ever, right? And I agree with this, right? Commander, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe Commander was made as this format where the whole goal was to make a home for all these like big splashy spells that really just couldn't find a home anywhere else. You want to play Lord of the Void in standard, bro? Fucking good luck. You want to play Lord of the Void in modern? Oh, bro. Kill that dream right now. Ain't gonna happen. Free running for assassins makes a lot of sense. If you build an assassin deck, you get these powerful, unique cards that no one else can play. Having free running work with commanders gives them a home in non-assassin decks. Might be asking, right? Well, maybe Seth's just overreacting, right? How bad can free running, which by the way is a new mechanic with the Assassin's Creed set. Let me read it real quick. You may cast this spell for its free running cost if you dealt combat damage to a player with this turn with an assassin or commander, because that had to exist, by the way. The mechanic would have just sucked if commander wasn't on there, right? Obviously it would have. So, you know, maybe Seth's overreacting, right? Let's actually look at these free running cards. Okay. Assassin Lord. Okay, that's not too bad. 4 mana hard kill spell that replaces itself. That can also just be 2 mana. That's kind of... let's see what else we got here. We got Distracted Guards. 3 mana make 3 1/1s, or it can be 2 mana make 3 1/1s. That's like honestly like kind of good in token decks. Let's see, 5 mana Sorcery draw 3 cards, or it's a 2 mana draw 3. Wow, that's like really good. Now also, like, there's tons of like blue commanders that just fly. Like there's Malcolm. Malcolm is like one of the most popular partners ever, and she's a flying 3-drop. Like she could very easily play this and just have access to a really great like solid card draw spell. And this was Seth's card he mentioned. What does this one do? Okay, it's 5 mana. Go get 3 basic land cards. Put 2 in the battlefield. Tap 1 to your hand. Okay, so it's like a bigger cultivate, right? Okay, that's not bad. Oh, but wait, the free running is 3. The free running is 3 mana. You can get a cultivate that ramps you an extra land if you have a commander that's cheap and can attack. You could very easily slot this thing into even something as simple as like Sigarda, Fonts of Blessings. It's a green-white flyer. You just cast her, swing with her, and then ramp 2 lands for 3 mana, and then oh, by the way, it also gets you a land in your hand because it's just fat cultivate. So I don't think Seth's point is wrong here. Like if the cards were like themselves not really that good, it wouldn't be a big deal, right? Like I think a good comparison is the Universe Beyond cards, believe it or not, because like people kind of got up in arms about like, you know, having real actors portrayed on Magic cards, right? Like Doctor Who, Jurassic Park, but those cards like don't really see a lot of play outside of like the aforementioned specific decks, right? Like no one's playing the Doctors outside of Doctor decks. And also those cards aren't really like super push either. They're more so just meant to be like interesting design spaces. So these are cards that are designed for Commander and are just extremely pushed. A good example I think is probably Fierce Guardianship. Like this entire cycle of free spells from Ikoria, you can't tell me that Wizards made these thinking that, oh yeah, these are a healthy design for Commander. No, like I don't think it's unfair to say that these cards were made with the intention to sell packs. I don't think it's dishonest to say that. Free running working with commanders might sound like a positive, but really it's not. Commander is a 100 card stimulating format for a reason, to increase variance by forcing you to play as many different cards as possible while still being able to shuffle your deck. Cards that go into every deck diminish the variance that makes Commander fun. The more these cards Wizards prints, the further Commander moves away from its foundation as a format where you can play whatever cast-off cards you love, and less fun comes for players. Probably one of the most prominent examples of this is Arcane Signet. Like even Gavin Verhey came out on his channel and said like, hey, we're sorry for printing this. And even then, like, I think this thing was more so made to like push Brawl, because they were trying to make Brawl a decent thing. They were trying to make their own Commander format. Thank God, at least Wizards like came out and said, hey, look, we're sorry for making this thing so like absurdly good. We're gonna make it like a reprint in like every Commander product now from now on here forth. So at the very least, it's not this absurd like $40 2-mana rock that it was when it first released. This thing was like $30 when it first released, because it was only in the Brawl precons, and that was it. We keep getting these like extremely push spells in Commander products that are very clearly meant to just be good in Commander. This is just a free counter spell, right? It's a free counter spell that only works in Commander. This is like the perfect example of like push for Commander with the intention to make money, which Seth does go into later on in his thread. As Wizards pushes harder and harder to monetize Commander, the format has went from a format built around cards unwanted for a 60-card format constructed to a format whose primary purpose is to sell cards designed specifically for it. Again, I don't think it's an unfair statement at all. We literally get Commander decks with every single set now. I legit miss the yearly Commander products. It was cool to see like 5 different characters, all from different planes, be placed into this like almost like wrestling ring, right? Because there was never really any connection between Atraxa and Brea and Saskia and all them. They were just, Wizards legit just made like 5 decks, 5 commanders from random planes, and just said, here's the flavor. You're all in the ring now. Go fight each other. And that was it. That was the whole like basis for the yearly Commander products. And nowadays it's just like every set, you know, make commanders based on the current set we're in, right? You know, we got mild inconveniences to Karlov Manor Commander decks. We got Commander decks in Modern Horizons 3. What sense does that make, bro? The set has modern in the name, and we got Commander decks for that set. We're at a point now where it's like Wizards having to make products for Commander in order to appease Hasbro it is legit hurting the format. I think Wizards is pushing Commander so hard, not because they really want to, but more so because they feel like they have to in order to appease the voracious pit that is Hasbro. And I think that as time goes on and as Commander slowly shifts and warps via just power creep and stable creep, the format is gonna lose the heart at kind of what made it what it is. You can even see it happening now. Like, Commander is way faster nowadays than it was 5 years ago. Way faster. Like, I used to run 3-mana counter spells all the time. I stopped playing them now because I think holding up 3 mana for a counter spell is just too much in today's format. I think 3 mana removal in general is unplayable nowadays unless it's like Beast Within and it hits literally anything. I want to say the exception is like Slave of Bolas, because the art in that card is just immaculate, and I am a Bolas fanboy at my roots. That might be like the one and only removal spell I play that costs more than 3 mana. All decks start to look the same as players add one designed to be a Commander stable card to their deck after another, month by month, year by year. It's massively profitable for Wizards, but as far as I can tell, it's also slowly ripping the heart from the format. I agree 100%. 100%. I feel like nowadays, again, this is my scene. Everyone's LGS, everyone's meta, everyone's like local scene is different. But personally, at my LGS, I feel like I almost never see anyone really gushing about their favorite like pet cards. Like, I don't think, I cannot remember the last time I saw someone cast a card and be like, oh god, I love this card, and it's like some random janky like 2012 mythic rare, like Imperial Archangel, right? Or like Prince of Thralls literally any mythic rare from a Lara block, to be honest. Like, literally any mythic rare from a Lara block would fulfill that category of like bad pet card that I run because it's cool, not because it's good. I feel like cards like that just have stopped seeing play because there's staple creep, power creep, speed creep. Everything about Commander is just getting faster now. As I said, Wizards just keeps printing more and more just above everything else in terms of efficiency cards. I mean, Fierce Guardianship, Deadly Raw, like the SWAT, all the Ikoria, free spell cycles. Oh yeah, Jewel Lotus. We got Jewel Lotus recently too. That, oh my god, that thing, yeah. I mean, you can't tell me this thing is not like the epitome of monetized commander, right? There's no way. The entire thing about the Black Lotus, like in lore, in flavor text, is like it inspires greed and all that. This is literally, this is like the perfect image of like, oh yes, greed and commander. What's crazy to me is that like I'm pretty sure I recall like I think it was Command Zone. Don't quote me on that. Again, nothing against them. I think it was the Command Zone who like said they were invited to test Commander Legends like I think it was like over 5 years before it released. Pretty sure Josh Lee Kwai like on one of the podcast episodes said like, don't make this card, don't print this, it's not good for Commander, and they did it anyway.
I got to look at this at 2 years ago. Part of what we were doing was playtesting cards, building decks, giving feedback to Gavin, Jules, some other people at Wizards about, you know, what we were experiencing for them to think about. Jeweled Lotus was a card that I begged them not to print like 2 years ago. I literally wrote a couple of emails that were like, listen, I don't think this card's healthy. I don't think it does anything good for games. The only thing it does is occasionally create games where it feels like nothing mattered but the player played Jeweled Lotus. Mm-hmm. And they got out to a huge start. Nobody happened to draw removal or a way to stop them, and they just snowballed.
Do I think they did it because they hate Commander? No. I think they did it because Hasbro just has to make money now, and they've decided to hold Magic on a little keychain. Ooh, 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 look, Magic cards. Make me more Magic cards, Wizards. Genuinely. Please, like, don't harass Wizards employees. Don't harass Morrow. Don't harass Kevin Verhey for cards like this. Don't do that, okay? Please. They love the game. Everyone who works at Wizards loves Magic and wants it to succeed. Cards like this, Jeweled Lotus, don't get made because they want to hurt Commander or that they just don't like Commander. It's because they have to make money to appease their corporate overlords. Next, he goes on to say that free running in specifically rubs me the wrong way because it could so obviously exist without applying to Commanders. Working only with Assassins makes for better format and play experience. 100%, I agree. The only reason I can see the tech on Commander is to sell more packs. I agree, 100%. Also, another thing that's funny, this set, Assassin's Creed, is modern legal. So you have these cards that are going to be printed to be legal and modern, and you just have Commander in the reminder text. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. One thing I like to say about, like, Steph's complaint here about, like, Commander staples, right? Please don't misconstrue, like, his argument and think that like, oh, anything that's Commander staple is bad. No, that's not true. All right, you might be saying to yourself, but Bounce Man, Swords to Plowshares exist. Swords to Plowshares is a great card. That's a staple. Is Swords to Plowshares bad too? No. And there's two key differences. One, when this card was made, Commander, what is it? What happened? What happened with Commander in that year? Oh, that's right. It didn't exist. Commander literally didn't exist when this card was made. Staples are fine. There's nothing wrong with like the OG staples, Swords of Plowshares. Because again, this card, Commander literally didn't exist when this card was made versus Fierce Guardianship, which was. And was most likely only made to sell product. Again, to appease the voracious pit that is Hasbro. I don't even think Seth's criticism only applies to Commander. We can see it in other formats as well nowadays. Modern has had many cards get pushed into its format. This card is $3 now? What? Uro is $3 now? I didn't know that. Sorry, I'm getting off track. Like, even in Modern, we had Uro printed and then that thing got banned. We had Oko, original Oko, who existed for like, I think it was like a month. And then he got banned. Like, I don't think it'd be unfair to say that Seth's criticism might honestly apply to fire design in general, where it's just like, we print powerful cards in order to sell packs to appease Hasbro. Are we gonna lose some customer trustworthiness if we do that? Yeah, sure, but it's a trigger we can pull if we need to keep the game healthy and running. I mean, in MH2, we got Fury and Solitude, two cards that were very clearly just designed to sell packs. Modern as a format nowadays is in this like constant civil war over Modern Horizons and the effect it has on sets. yes, it makes Modern fun for like a few months at a time when it releases, but then there are other players who say like, hey, maybe Modern, this format that was like designed to showcase the best of the best standard cards, shouldn't rotate with these print to Modern sets. Like Fury, this card was printed in Modern Horizons 2, and guess what? It got banned. We had Hogak in Modern Horizons 1, and guess what? He got banned. He got banned because he was too strong. I don't think it's really unfair to say that, like, Seth's complaint may not just apply to Commander, but just, like, the idea of making powerful cards purely for the sake of selling packs and trying to make money. And another clarification I like to make is that some people might say, well, Bounce Man, we've had cards designed for Commander before. I mean, Commander precons have existed since 2013, and those have always had custom cards in them. And you're right, random person. You are right. Those decks did have custom cards in them. You know what they were? They were Cruel Entertainment. What does this thing do? Let's see here. 6 and a black for a sorcery. Choose target player and another target player. The first player controls the second player during the second player's next turn, and the second player controls the first player during the first player's next turn. That's kind of like not good. It's definitely no free counterspell. It's definitely no like Excise the Imperfect, which is just this like generically powerful removal spell that any white deck can play, right? Like I mean, it's like those like aren't playable at all. Well, Bounce Man, surely there's yeah, is there? Are you sure about that? Let's see here. Intellectual Offering, 4 in a blue, instant. Choose an opponent. You and that player each draw 3 cards. Choose an opponent. Untap all non-land permanents you control and all non-land permanents that player controls. That's a far cry from Fierce Guardianship. What else is there? We got Pendant of Prosperity back in 2019. Did they fucking reprint this thing? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you on God right now? They reprinted Pendant of Prosperity? Are you really? What does this thing do? Let's see. 3-mana artifact. You cast it and it enters under someone else's control. You pay 2 and tap it. You draw a card and put a land card from your hand on battlefield. And then Pendant of Prosperity's owner does the same thing. This card is terrible because like it's just 3 mana, give it to an opponent, and just hope and pray to Richard Garfield that they activate it. If they don't, guess what? You spent 3 mana to do nothing. Lamau. Like, Commander does like the problem isn't cards being designed for Commander in general. The problem is that we get cards designed for Commander that are very clearly intentionally just pushed as hard as they can in an effort to sell a product. Again, Fierce Guardianship is going to get brought up a lot. Jeweled Lotus, we had Hole Breacher back in Commander Legends. Good old Hole Breacher, and guess what? It got banned because it was too strong. We've always had cards designed for Commander, but the problem is that the cards back then weren't really pushed. They were just like fun designs. Like Cruel Entertainment is not a good card at all, but it's funny. It's funny, bro. It's a funny card. The Offering Cycle. Me personally, right? I'm a huge fan of Volcanic Offering because I really Anyways, we're getting off topic. Back to Saffron Olive. Basically, if Wizards is going to keep printing cards for Commander, they should focus on narrow cards that don't go in every deck. Once Commander becomes 100-card good stuff piles that look the same no matter what deck you are playing, it will become less popular, and that is the direction we're heading. And finally, he wraps up by saying, basically, by aggressively printing cards that can go in every Commander deck, Wizards is slowly making the format less and less fun and risks killing their golden goose. I mean, Seth hit a nail on the head, right? It's a problem of Commander design in general. It's just like free running doesn't need to have Commander tacked on here at all. It really doesn't. Like it would be. Actually, I'd even go as far as to say that like the fact that it has Commander stable on there at all actually makes the mechanic worse. Like imagine reading this and going, oh, okay, I got so Assassin decks get this unique payoff. Oh, that's pretty cool. Or Commander. Oh, never mind then. What? You thought we were gonna start giving creature decks or kindred decks actually like spells that are cool based on their type, like Prowl, right? Prowl. Remember Prowl, chat? Remember Prowl? We could have had Prowl, right? Free running is just like the new version of Prowl in a way, right? Because it's like you cast it for the free running cost if you hit him with Assassin. We could have. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this not just Prowl? Is free running not just Prowl, but with a new name to add commander to it? Hold on. Wait a minute. Bro, free running is literally just Prowl, but they changed the name so that they could put commander in the text. Wizards, what the fuck?